Hi all, I will try to be brief. I just wanted to do a quick update. Back in Nevada City after a long day of travel yesterday. I'm glad to be here, glad to be Zooming with you shortly. Just wanted you to know that I got current with what's moving through in terms of our need for protocol and agreements, and I did speak to Pilar yesterday after speaking to Ember for a bit, so I feel like I got current with what's going on in terms of things with Abigail. And I spoke to Ember just to make sure that we're on the same page in terms of like what's feeling like our learning, and what's feeling off, or where our learning is actually telling us what we value and what we want to live in together as a group, both this group as a council and then with HoneyRoot and our setting up agreements with the facilitators that we bring on. And hopefully we can sort that out with all of you. And what else? Oh, and then Pilar and I spoke, and I'll let you share with the group what's been going on for you, but there's been a bit of a shift in how Pilar shared that she's cycling through how to be with the material of the fucked upness of the world, especially in relation to race relations and different marginalized groups, and how to be an activist within that. And it sounds like, Pilar, that you're in a bit of a transition yourself, and hopefully you can share that with us in a brief way so that we can get current together. But generally it speaks to the heart, and it speaks to how can we set limits, and how can we call in and call out and ask questions and get more informed while staying online with the heart. And so, given that that's such a high value within HoneyRoot culture, I'm wondering what things we can put in place as a group to make sure that our behaviors are staying aligned with that. And if there's anyone that disagrees with that, hopefully we can voice that too. Of course, we need to be careful about tone policing, but given that we are in a community that, as far as I know, focuses on how can we actually allow and give permission and say yes to energy that wants to move through the body, as a way to reclaim a lot of what I consider our birthright. I don't worry so much about that we're coming from a place of wanting to tone police, but I know I want to be careful with how it can be perceived, or how it can be on the receiving end. So how do we do that well? And what else? Yeah, and I feel like I'm going to step in and write a letter back to Abigail. Maybe I can talk to you all about that. But I really appreciate Aaron drawing us together so that we can go from our last Zoom conversation that was more about kind of informing each other and getting to speak and be heard, now moving us into some left brain activity of like, what can we all agree to in terms of how we are behaving as a council, how we are showing up for one another, how we're making sure that we stay collaborative and interconnected, or what do we need to do so that we have the amount of independence that we want and yet still be connected. And can we establish a set of values that when we are dealing with anything that has to do with HoneyRoot, where we have a protocol where this is how we carry things out, starting all the way from, me and Ember, or who's ever doing production, bringing our ideas to the council to make sure that the council feels good about what we're moving forward on. Everything from that to if we do feel like we need to bring attention to something that feels off, or call someone in, or call a behavior out that's not feeling right. How do we do it? How do we do it in a way that keeps us feeling connected and then supported also by the council? When do we speak as individuals? When do we speak for HoneyRoot? Do we ever speak for HoneyRoot? these kinds of things. So just wanted to do a little update. Pilar, great to talk to you, feel where your heart is. We also spoke about what can be done now. I had asked Pilar if she felt like she's in a position where she could, kind of speak for, I don't remember how I put it, but I care about Abigail's name. I care about Abigail's work. There's always more to learn, clearly. She's doing a lot of learning herself. Pilar said that she is up for a call, communicating with Abigail. Hopefully we'd all be on that call if Abigail can find her yes to that. She may not. But I think that would be really nice, because getting some personal and eyeball and breath and human to human, humanity to humanity relationship on board, I think would help a lot. And I asked Pilar if she felt like she could go back into the groups where she has communicated about Abigail and the work, and see if anything could be tended there that could be, tending the heart of the work and tending someone's name, Abigail's name. Even as we learn as a council that there are things that we want to be able to agree to with our independent contractors, those that we hire to do work for us, or for our community. So I hope that's not too confusing, but I wanted to do a little update and say I'm looking forward to seeing you all. And I also want to say that, if we come up with agreements that feel like this is how HoneyRoot wants to roll in terms of how we are continuing to bring more awareness, more embodied, somatically based awareness to social justice matters, I just want to say that, I love you all, and if anything starts to come up that doesn't feel aligned with how you want to be doing the work, whether it's with us or in the world, let's get clear on that, because we want to build a nice, strong council that probably starts to include some others too. There are definitely some missing views and missing voices that I'd like to tend and include if we can. So let's get clear on what can we agree to? What can we agree to in terms of how we are showing up for others? And that includes in person, that includes online, that includes a conversation that says both within HoneyRoot community, and then also how we are doing the work as individuals. Do we want to hold each other accountable at all in that way as individuals? Do we want to learn together as individuals? Can we call each other in? How do we do that? Because I'd like to. I'd like you to call me in. I'd like to call you in. Okay, it's a long one. Thanks. See you soon.